guys, it's your girl T, and I want to go ahead and shout out my homegirl T, because she was the first one to let me know about the Chris Brown shooting that went down this past Sunday in San Jose. So if you guys all remember, this past August, I was in Beverly Hills trying to go to Chris Brown's VMA pre-party / birthday party at One Oak, and they started shooting. I had left 10 minutes before the shots rang out. It was just the worst night of my life in LA. And I told myself back then I would never go to another Chris Brown concert again, because I don't know if it's the energy that Chris Brown brings, but a lot of people are always doing some fuckery at Chris Brown concerts, and lo and behold, not even a few months later, this concert that came out put together for Chris Brown in San Jose gets shot up. Now, the shots weren't aiming at Chris Brown. They were shooting at people in the audience. 5 people were injured. It was really, really scary to watch the video. And then what was even worse was, like, people were making fun of Chris Brown because, you know, he was nervous and he jumped. And people were like, oh, he's not about that life and all this other stuff. And it's like, when you have bullets flying in any direction that can, you know, potentially take your life, you would run too. Like, I get so tired of all these, you know, super tough, you know, keyboard warriors and mobsters and, you know, broad bangers and shit like that on the internet. As if he's not human, he's not supposed to duck and flinch. You know, so after people started clowning Chris Brown, he sent out the following tweet, basically going off on people, saying that they're not about that life. Other people who were there were also sending out tweets. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys these tweets as well.
Oh, them niggas hitting it in over there. Over there.
She's trying to get out.
Alright, so you guys just checked out those tweets, and what disturbs me the most is that in one of those tweets, somebody's saying that they're laying in a freezer and there's a bunch of blood everywhere. Somebody else is saying that somebody next to them got shot, but their main concern is Chris Brown and Karachi. And I'm like, how is that your main concern when you have another human being right there in your face shot? And then in one of the pictures, there's a girl laying on the ground. I don't know if she's passed out. I don't know if she's shot. You know, so it was really scary to watch all this stuff go down. And it's like, once again, it's being tied to Chris Brown, even though Chris Brown had nothing to do with it. You know, it's obviously some people in the crowd who want to act a fool, but of course it's being attached to Chris Brown's name, which is really unfortunate. And because of this, his probation is now being revoked. They're saying that Chris Brown did not have permission, per his lawyers, to be performing in San Jose. He was outside the jurisdiction of where he was supposed to perform at, and because he did not have permission, they're now trying to use that as an excuse to revoke his probation. And now Chris Brown could really do some serious jail time, because he's been on probation since 2009 for the Rihanna beating case. So this whole situation is sad. It was really sad to see him in court. He really looked like he's about to break down and cry. I don't know who's advising him. I don't understand how Mark Geragos and his lawyers, that he's paying them thousands of dollars to represent him. How did they not get the proper permission for Chris Brown to be able to perform at this club? Like, this makes no sense whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys a news clip. I want you guys to check this out, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
Club where 5 people were shot during a Chris Brown concert on Sunday is now facing repercussions for that violence. Crown 4's Maureen Kelly reports the venue's licenses are suspended by 2 different agencies, and now the singer is finding himself in legal trouble in connection with the event.
Police are still looking for the person who fired the shots that wounded 5 and sent people scurrying for cover during those chaotic moments. But for now, they're taking action against the owner of the Fiesta nightclub by suspending their entertainment license for 60 days starting Friday. The state's alcohol beverage control has also suspended the venue's liquor license during that same time frame. We were unable to reach the owner for comment, but police say the club had inadequate security to host that particular event.
When you operate a business and when you're having entertainment and you're providing alcohol, it's your responsibility to make sure that the patrons inside that establishment are safe. And that means not allowing weapons in.
SJPD says their vice unit warned the owner prior to the Chris Brown event that extra security steps needed to be taken. Because as recently as this past summer, 3 people were wounded at a party the same R&B singer emceed in West Hollywood.
Checking patrons before they come in, searching bags or purses, pat searching people. This was not done sufficiently.
And now a judge has revoked Brown's probation in connection to the Rihanna assault case because apparently Chris Brown didn't get permission to travel to San Jose for Sunday's event. But he will be allowed to remain free until a hearing on the matter March 20th, which means it shouldn't affect Brown's next concert in San Jose, scheduled for March 6th. That will be taking place at the SAP Center, a bigger venue which police say has much better security measures in place. Maureen Kelly, Crown 4 News.
All right, so you guys just watched the news clip. So the whole situation is really unfortunate, and I do feel like Chris has been given a lot of, slaps on the wrist. If you guys remember, about a year ago, he got into it in Washington, D.C. They charged him with a misdemeanor for hitting some man who got up in his face, and then he got sent to anger management and rehab. He ended up failing that, so he didn't make it through the program, and he went to jail for the summer. So Chris has been going through a lot of, hardships lately. He's been going through a lot in his career. This young man is very talented. He can sing, he can dance, he can write, he can even rap. You know what I'm saying? Chris is really, really talented, and it's sad to see, his talent just being wasted and the media constantly just tearing him apart. And I blame a lot of this on TMZ. I feel like TMZ instigates a lot of shit for Chris Brown, and they really made him look really bad. Because as talented as Chris Brown is, he really shouldn't even be forced to be performing at these hole-in-the-walls. I could see if he was a new artist. I could see if he was just some, local, LA rapper or something like that. But it's like, you're Chris Brown. You're well-known. You're world-renowned. I could not see Rihanna performing at a club like that. I could not see Nick Jonas performing at a club like that. But I feel like because TMZ and the media has basically helped to destroy his reputation, along with Chris Brown, don't get it misconstrued. He does take some personal responsibility for his actions. But I also feel like the media has played a part in tearing him down. That he's, that he's literally forced to perform at these hole-in-the-wall clubs. Because the average, millionaire celebrity is not going to perform at this type of venue where there's no metal detectors, there's not enough security, even if they weren't shooting at each other in the crowd, somebody could have just shot Chris Brown just on GP. Now that his probation has been revoked, he really could go to jail, for the next few months or for the next few years. Who knows what's going to happen in March. But, I hope everything ends up working out for Chris Brown. This just says a lot when this is a second shooting that's surrounding this young man. And like I said before, I don't know if it's the type of energy he puts out there. I know people have accused him of, gangbanging and claiming, certain sets and things like that. I don't know if that's what's bringing a particular crowd to his concerts. And also, it's really sad that in hip-hop and in R&B that these type of things happen so many times. How many hip-hop concerts have I talked about over the years where there's been shootings and people have gotten killed and things like that? You would never see this type of thing happen at a Nick Jonas event or a Justin Bieber event. So I was, hip-hop, and it's always black R&B artists. So I think a lot of people just really need to take their safety seriously, need to, really put out certain types of energy, certain types of vibes, and they need to make sure that the security's on point, because if any of these people end up passing away or dying or, being really critically injured, maybe they end up not being able to walk or end up in a wheelchair, the first people that they're going to blame is Chris Brown. They may sue the club, but trust and believe they're going to go after Chris Brown first and go after his money. So he needs to really protect himself and his investments and stop performing at these hole-in-the-wall clubs. But I also definitely feel like Mark Geragos and his team definitely let him down, because they should have dotted all their I's and crossed all their T's to make sure that he was allowed to perform in San Jose, as opposed to, you know, saying that it's okay for him to perform, not getting the necessary paperwork needed for him to be able to perform. So the whole situation is just a mess. Wish Chris Brown well. I don't know how it's going to end, but I do find it crazy that, you know, they're itching to get him thrown in jail, but then you have all these other people out here committing crimes, you know, killing innocent teens, and nothing happens to them. So anyways, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy situation concerning our favorite R&B singer, Chris Brown. How do you feel about the shooting that went down? How do you feel about them revoking his probation? Do you feel like this is Chris Brown's fault because of the energy he puts out there, because of certain things that he says and, you know, ways that he behaves? Do you feel like this is Chris Brown's fault, or do you feel like he's getting a bum rap because the shooting had absolutely nothing to do with him? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. All right, deuces.